It is always a struggle mentally trying to contemplate based on looking at your circumstances sometimes whether or not God has really called you or chosen you to do something as massive or as vast as you are endeavoring to do. One of the tactics of the enemy is to use where you are now to warp your perception of where God has intended you to be. That he wants to convince you that where you are is a permanent setting, that it is actually futile for you to think that you can go beyond where you are, have more than you have now. And he wants to defeat you, and it prompts you to make self-sabotaging declarations over your life. And you begin to say things like, well, I'll make the necessary adjustments and I'll downsize, I'll downscale in order to fit into a mold that God never intended you to be in. And the thing I love about God, well, I didn't initially love it while I was in it, but sometimes you don't really get a grasp of what God is doing in your life until you look back in retrospection. Until you look back and see through every change and every challenge in your life that it was the hand of God that was upholding you, preserving you, navigating you through moments of your life that you never thought you'd ever come out of. And what I found out about God is that God tends to confirm his call on your life in some of the most uncomfortable settings you've ever been in. Oh, I'm going to talk to somebody in this room. I know you want God to confirm it when things are great, but it is God who generally sends confirmation as to who you are and your identity in the kingdom of God in some of the most distasteful, uncomfortable, unattractive moments of your life, right on the cusp of you feeling like I'm about to walk away from this and give up because what I'm seeing in the natural does not coincide with what I see in the spirit. But I'm talking to somebody in this room right now, and I'm getting ready to blow your mind and tell you that the fight you're in right now is confirmation of how intimidated the enemy is with your future manifesting. God has a tendency to use unorthodox and unpreferred methods in my life in order to develop something in me that nothing I have gone through previously has had the power to produce in my life. I'm trying to hold myself together, but I feel like running around this room now because there are times in my life where God brought me through some things that I felt were absolutely unwarranted, unnecessary, and certainly I could have avoided that. But God says, unless I brought you through this route, you would have never developed the power in the anointing. See, you have to have gone through a few things to shout about where you are right now. There's some of us that learn how to take a licking and keep right on ticking. You think I'm a breakdown because of what happened on my job? The devil is. You think I'm getting ready to pull my hair out over the uncomfortable circumstance I'm in now? I've learned how to open up my mouth and say, I will bless the Lord. That's somebody and tell them God's confirming some stuff right now. Everything the enemy said you want, you are and more. Everything your family said you never amount to, you're getting ready to make every false prediction of every invalid voice, of every irrelevant person in your life. God said keep talking about them. And while you're talking about them, I'm elevating them in your faith. I'm promoting them.